I got a 790 on the math section of the SAT only using Desmos. So let me show you how you can use it to boost your score. If you see a question with equivalent expressions, you don't actually have to do any math. You can just open up Desmos and set these equivalent to each other, and instead of the equal sign, you're going to replace it with this tilde symbol. And anywhere there's an x and y in the equation, you're just going to replace it with x1 and y1. And this is just so that Desmos doesn't think that these are part of a function. And it's going to spit out a bunch of these parameters, but to make sure they're accurate, you're just going to type in x1 equals 1 dot 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 100. And this is just going to make sure that these numbers are accurate for every number in this list. And since y is in the equation too, you're going to do the same thing. Now, since this question is asking the value of k plus r plus s, since we already have these values defined, we can actually just type in k plus r plus s and we get our answer, which is 13. So let's go over here and check it, and it's the correct answer. I love this website, cooksat.com, because it gives me a full explanation for every question and even a Desmos explanation.
This is awesome. Equivalent expression problems are some of the hardest problems on the SAT, and rightfully so. Really, what the test makers are testing here is if you understand how to do algebra to go and solve for various expressions. When you're feeling a little doubtful or a little low on time, Desmos becomes a very good solution here. This technique is real, it works, and using Desmos on the math section of the SAT is one of the smartest things that you can do to maximize your score in the test. That part of this video, totally, completely fair. Now, if you can score 790 on the SAT only using Desmos, that's a little questionable. There will be problems on the test that are undesmosable. These are going to be problems where it's more important to know how to set it up than it is on how to plug it into the calculator. Now, here's the key thing. This may seem easy on a quick 48-second video. However, when you're testing this out with the timer running under real test pressure, this does not become a 20-second move. This becomes a gamble at best. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Desmos will give you a precise answer, but it will not tell you if you completely understood the problem in the first place. For example, if you mistype even a single one of these numbers, you might get a polished and perfect looking answer. However, it's going to be completely wrong. So here's my honest advice. Yes, learn this methodology, but don't let it replace that part of your brain where you need to understand what's going on in the question, and more importantly, reading the question clearly. Lastly, make sure to practice this at least a dozen times before the actual test. That way, you know that you're not going to be guessing and you'll be on your way to success. Follow for more SAT tips that help you prepare without guessing.